Wrestling Report, and I just wanted to get up in here real quick and talk about the WWE and TNA partnership. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that, and I'm going to make it quick. First of all, I don't know why this was breaking news, first of all, whatnot, because at the end of the day, WWE has been working with TNA since last year, since Jordan Grace showed up at the Royal Rumble and whatnot, and then the Joe Henry showing up at NXT and whatnot, and people are making a big deal out of this. Now, the thing I don't understand is that people are making it seem like, oh my God, look, WWE and TNA are teaming up and whatnot. They're gonna take over the wrestling world and whatnot. Let's talk about what it really is. Okay, what it really is TNA needing WWE to help them with viewership. Okay, um, I love how people just quickly like to take shots at AEW all the time and whatnot. But let's talk about TNA. TNA this time last year was talking about they were going to take over the number 2 spot in the North American wrestling world. And we saw that that did not happen. People were talking about, oh, they were going to take over AEW. AEW is going to be the third brand, yada, yada, yada. But let's be realistic. As we saw, that did not happen. Okay? TNA suffered because in anything, again, they don't have a TV channel where you can actually see them. And if they do, it's an access channel. Not everybody in the United States or Canada has that channel access. So what's the best thing TNA did? They went and teamed up with WWE and did a couple of stops. Had some of the wrestlers do stops in NXT. NXT did the same thing, and some of the pay-per-views that TNA had. And every time I turn around, I'm hearing stuff about TNA. They're doing big things, and they're not. I mean, they actually sold out an arena of 4,000 plus in Montreal. I think it was Bound for Glory, one of those pay-per-views, and it was a big deal for them because they haven't had over 4,000 people in an arena in a long time. So this WWE TNA partnership, what people don't understand, is really about TNA wanting WWE to help them bring, viewers, and that's what it really is, and whatnot. This is giving me flashbacks of when Evolve decided to do a partnership with WWE back in 2015 or 14, whatever it was. 5 years later, you know what I'm saying? Or actually, not even 5 years later, because after 2019, after 2019, and the COVID came in, Evolve was done. WWE went and bought their libraries. They went out of business. Are we looking at the same thing here happening with with TNA? Because TNA right now, they suffering. As much as anybody could tell me that they're not suffering, they're suffering. Okay? Because they had a debut at Sportsnet Canada, and they only had 36,000 views that night. And they're losing wrestlers. They're losing talent and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be nice to see TNA blow up. But, I mean, and I used to be a TNA fan back in the days. I used to be a big-time TNA fan and whatnot. But what happened? Dixie Carter got her hands on that. And then next thing you know, 2013, TNA almost went out of business and whatnot. And then in 2019, they made their Rose from the Phoenix, and they had Pentagon, they had LAX, they had Sami Callihan. They were hot. Tessa Blanchard was there. She even had a wrestling match with Sami Callihan at one point, and they were hot. But every time you think that TNA is gonna get hot, they turn around and they die slowly. The same thing when a couple of years ago when Ring of Honor was in hiatus. They did the Honor No More gimmick where or storyline where they had wrestlers like Eddie Edwards and they had Matt Taven and Mike Bennett went to TNA, and they had the storyline where Honor No More feuding with TNA wrestlers. That was a good storyline, but what they did, they went and messed that up. So here they are all of a sudden, and the biggest mess up was when they let go of Scott D'Amore. When they let go of Scott D'Amore, that was it for them. Okay? And even after that, they still ended up working with WWE. Now, them working with WWE helps them because now, for what I'm hearing, is that NXT wrestlers are going to go to TNA. Now, the women's division TNA is, I mean, it's TNA actually is pretty good. Now, you bring in the women division from NXT and you bring it in there, you're going to have good classic matches and whatnot. But what I don't get is everybody's making it something big. They've been working together. And we all knew that it was a moment of, the real reason that TNA was seen with WWE because they needed viewers. And even then, the viewers are still not coming in. For the simple fact, now, if you look at it, Joe Henry may end up being with WWE, a contracted WWE wrestler. Jordan Grace is going to be a contracted WWE wrestler. Moose might come in and be a contracted WWE wrestler. The only thing that you're seeing here is going to be a what we call it's going to be a very interesting Royal Rumble. I mean, you don't know who from TNA may show up at the Rumble. As far as it could be the women's Royal Rumble or the male's Royal Rumble. You could see Moose show up at the Royal Rumble. You could see Josh Alexander show up at the Royal Rumble and whatnot. You know, Steve Macklin, you know, and Tessa Blanchard may show up at Royal Rumble. There's a lot of possibilities, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But thanks to everybody who's out here. Camille, thank you. Hi, how you doing? John Stapes. Greetings from Germany. Hey, peace out, guys. Germany in the house. But yeah, so going back, it's crazy. It's very crazy because at the end of the day, you know, they've been working in a partnership. You know what I'm saying? They've been working in a partnership, and who knows? At the end of the day, it may work for them. It may not work out for them. I just hope it doesn't turn out that what WWE did was going to do what they did to Evolve. They ended up bringing them in, and one next thing you know, years pass, and you know, Austin, what is it? Oh my God, what's his name? He's in WWE. Anyway, I don't got time to be thinking of you know, who's going to be. But there's certain wrestlers that were in Evolve and now, you know, are now in WWE. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the way I'm looking, I just hope that it 3 or 4 years from now, we're talking about maybe WWE buying TNA. People say, oh, that TKO don't want to end up buying TNA, whatever, but there's still 49% of WWE has not been bought completely and whatnot. And you know, we're gonna see what happens because that 49%, I don't know if it's owned by Triple H or not, but that 49% could decide, well, you know what, we're gonna buy TNA and buy the library, and we don't longer have TNA now. TNA has been around for what? It's gonna be 23 years this year and whatnot. But this partnership is either gonna make them or break them. As far as them bringing in the talent to NXT, NXT is gonna end up winning out of all this and whatnot. TNA does not win anything. And I'm going to tell you why, because number one, if TNA is bringing in the talent to NXT, yes, they're going to get exposed because it's, you know, it's in CW channel and they're going to get exposed and whatnot. But what does TNA gain from this and whatnot? Because you can't see TNA, again, they're on the Access channel, unless you get TNA Plus or you just watch the repeat. Who, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, how is TNA benefiting from this at all? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing if AEW, you know, asks, oh, bring in all these Japanese guys that they have, Yoda Shusi or Hiroki Goto or Tamahiro Ishii, bring them in. And let's say that people in Japan can't see them, or actually not see them, but, you know, how is New Japan gaining any recognition of that? Nothing, because you're bringing in only these guys into the American, not what about the rest of the company? Same thing with NXT. I mean, with TNA. Are we gonna, you know, the question here is TNA gonna gain out of this? Again, like I said before, let's hope to God that this is not something that, you know, WWE is using TNA for their personal gain, and TNA does not get anything out of this. That it doesn't happen what happened to Evolve. When they came in, they bought the library, and and Evolve was gone and whatnot. So you know, we're gonna see. We're definitely gonna see what's gonna happen and whatnot. And I hope that you know it turns out good. I mean, it's gonna be interesting Royal Rumble. You know, Royal Rumble this year is gonna be February 1st, but it's gonna be very interesting to see if any TNA star shows up at the Rumble and whatnot. Is Jordan Grace gonna sign? Is Josh Alexander might show up? You know what I'm saying? You know, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I see Josh Alexander. I see Jordan Grace. I see Joe Henry joining WWE and whatnot. And the interesting part is Nick Nemeth may show up at the Rumble, being that he's the TNA World Champion. You know what I'm saying? And has a history as Dolph Ziggler in WWE and whatnot. It's gonna be a lot of possibilities. A lot of possibilities. We could see again the TNA champion Nick Nemeth in there. You could see Moose. You could see Josh Alexander at the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? And who's who knows? Who knows? And whatnot. So, you know, I figure I'd come in and talk about this now and get this out of the way and whatnot, because this is going to be a regular theme now. Every time there's a big story, whatever, I'm going to come live and I'm going to talk about it, and we'll see what happens afterwards and whatnot. So, guys, also follow me on my Chokeslam Wrestling Report YouTube channel. Follow me every week. Every Sunday, I put brand new episodes. This week, we're going to be talking about the Penta and the Aleister Black and this AEW, if he's done or not. So we're going to talk about it and definitely have a discussion. I give you my reaction of Penta's, WWE debut. We're going to talk about AEW's and how Malachi Black is supposedly done with the company and whatnot, and that he kind of fought off the Tony Khan trying to add time to his contract injury time, and I guess he said nope, it ain't happening. So we'll see, but we're gonna bring that up on Sunday. Again, guys, let me know what you think about this whole WWE and TNA partnership. Is it gonna benefit TNA at the long run, or does it really benefit WWE because they're gonna end up probably buying the library of TNA and whatnot, and TNA may go out of business? I mean, they're losing wrestlers as it is. You know what I'm saying? They're losing wrestlers as it is. You know, a lot of wrestlers are leaving, so we'll see about that, and hopefully, we'll continue to talk about it. We'll follow the story the next couple of days. Until then, guys, peace.